I get a question a lot of times, what should I do before I start a business? And there are a ton of things, but one piece of advice I think you cannot ignore is you have to have an operating agreement. Now, if you're the only one owning the business, you can probably get away with not doing one. But if you're going into business with someone else, especially with family or friends, or you're going to start a business with your brother-in-law or your old college roommate, you have to have an operating agreement or a founder's agreement. Now, it's tempting not to do one because you think when you're sitting there at Thanksgiving or you're sitting there having a beer with your buddy, hey, we should start a business. Cool, let's do that. And you both bring some skills and talents, maybe some money to the business. What could go wrong, right? You get along, you have the same values, same vision. But at some point you will disagree, right? Even my wife is my best friend, but on occasion we disagree about things until I realize I was wrong and then we're back on the same page. But even with the people you know and love best, you will disagree at times. Same with your business partner. So the best time to do that operating agreement is while you're still getting along. Several things that should be covered in that operating agreement. Things like who owns what. Are you going to have equal ownership? If I put in more money than you, am I going to have a bigger share of ownership? What your respective roles are in that company. Who is CEO, who's CFO, who's in charge of operations. Another is how you will make decisions when you disagree, because you will. And so you may both have equal ownership if there are two of you, but you designate one person as the CEO so that when you do disagree and you can't come to an agreement, one person has the final say. But you have to decide how you're going to decide. Also, you have to look at things that may come up. Hopefully they don't, but God forbid, what happens if one of you dies? If I'm in business with someone else, my partner dies, now all of a sudden my business partner is that guy's spouse. Maybe I don't get along with her or hadn't thought about going into business with her, but all of a sudden she owns half of our company. And so there are ways to deal with that before you find yourself in that mess. Same thing with divorce, or if you and I have a company and I decide, hey, I got a better offer, I'm going to move out of state, what happens to my share of the company? So make sure there's some kind of buy-sell agreement within that operating agreement. An attorney can help with this. Now, don't wait till you get to the attorney's office to decide these things, because they're charging you by the hour, and they'll be glad to sit there and facilitate that discussion. But have a conversation with your business partner or partners beforehand, and then take those decisions to an attorney. Say, here's what we decided, here's what we want to do, can you put this in written format? They'll be glad to do that for you, and it's money well spent. That way, when there is, again, a disagreement, it's less time, less expensive, because it's already spelled out.